Hi there. In this video, we're going to continue our discussion of setting up the Grade Center by talking about how we set up a column and assign it to the correct category. So if you'll remember correctly, we assigned our categories and made them our three-term examinations, our final exam, the discussion, attendance, and project and assignments. Those are all in there and ready to be worked with, which means that we need assignments that we can assign these columns to. So what you want to do to make a column, we're just going to make a column straight in the Grade Center. Now when you make a Dropbox or a discussion, it also makes a column in the Grade Center, but we're just going to make a straight one in the Grade Center, and then that way what we can do is we can go ahead and have an assignment that we can look at to assign it a category. So what you want to do is when you're in the Grade Center, you want to go to Create Column, and then we're going to go with a column name. So we're going to pick attendance. So let's write attendance in the column name. Okay, and then underneath you have a description. We don't really need that. The primary display is set to score. The secondary display is set to none, and you can leave those both for this type of column. Now here's where we get to the category. So the category, since this is the attendance, we want to make sure that we assign the correct category to this column. So we go down here and we select attendance, and then that makes sure that our weight's correct when we put in our weights in the end. Then you can go down under points possible and always put 100 in attendance, and then it'll be a percentage score of that. You can add a due date if you want. You don't have to. With attendance, there's probably not a due date. And then in the options, you always want to make sure it says yes, yes, no. This is for including the column in the Grade Center calculations, and then you want to make sure that the students can see the column and it's not necessary to have the statistics. So once this is all set up the way that you want it, you press Submit, and then you have your first column, which says attendance right here. Now we're going to make a second column just so we can see what we're going to do. Now if you were to make, let's go back to content. So we never made an assignment, but what we're going to do is we're going to make a Dropbox just really quickly so we have another grade in there. So we're going to make an assignment, and we're going to call it Week 1 assignment. Now this will be a Dropbox, so we're just going to assign it some points, and now it'll be a column in our Grade Center. So if we press Submit, it goes to the Submit, and if we go back to the full Grade Center, we'll now be able to see both of those columns. So this is something that we can work with. So now you want to make sure that that assignment also has the correct column. So we went in and we made this column and assigned it. But if you have a column that's already been made, or you have a column inside your class that you want to make sure when you set up your gradebook that it exactly aligns, you can go to Edit Column Information by pressing this little gray square on the right with the little arrow in it. So you can go to Edit Column Information, and this will show you how to edit and change your columns. It has basically the same setup, the same screen as the other one when we created the column. So you can come down here. The category is assignment, and it is correct because by default, since it was an assignment, it set it up as an assignment. This is not always going to work. Sometimes it's not going to be called what you want it to be called, so you're going to have to come and change it. But we made sure that it says assignment and everything else here looks great, so we press Submit. Now, when you have two columns or more, you can use something called column organization to change the categories. So what you want to do column organization is go to Manage, and under here is column organization. Now you get a different screen. You can see the names of the default columns that you have, where you had your last name, the usernames of the students, but down here are your graded and weighted columns. So now you can see that you have your attendance and your Week 1 assignment. Now here the categories show attendance and assignment, so they're correct, but let's just say that one of them wasn't correct, and this was a test or something and it was accidentally tagged attendance for some reason, an old shell, something was wrong, something didn't match, or it's just gave it a default column that you don't like, but you want to change that. So what you can do in this screen is you can actually change the category by selecting the box next to the assignment or the column and going to change category. Over here you can change this to, if you wanted to change it to a term examination, for instance, it comes up as term examinations. And if you wanted to click more than one, you can click 2 or more and change them all to tests, for instance. And that's just another way that you can quickly go in and you can change the columns or change the categories that are assigned to the column. Thank you very much.